Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. But they seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
This the crazy thing about that video, right? Is
there's a problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street nigga, you failed. You failed. I'm telling you this.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. We got a little bit of straightening going on. You feel me?
Mase pulled the trigger on something explosive. He revealed a private phone call between Jay Prince and Takeoff. That call was never supposed to leave the vault, but now it's out and Prince is spiraling. We're talking threats flying, panic statements, desperate damage control. But Mase didn't just sit back. He threw haymakers in return, saying exactly what people have been thinking but never had the courage to voice. And the timing couldn't be wilder. The streets are still restless over what really went down in Houston the night Takeoff lost his life. The footage doesn't match up. Key witnesses went silent, and two names never stopped getting mentioned, Jay Prince Jr. and DJ Pat. Now, with this secret call thrown into the mix, the story feels like it just cracked wide open. If what Mase is saying holds weight, this ain't just about reputation or clumsy PR moves. It points to Prince possibly covering up something way darker, something that could flip the whole narrative upside down.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little. It's like, for real.
And receipts are starting to pile up. Fans reposting old tweets, podcast clips where veiled threats were made, even documents tied to bail deals that look shady. The internet is tearing Prince apart. People are saying he's nothing but a fake community leader. Some even painting him as a cartel-style operator who silences anyone in his way. The accusations are heavy, and they've got blood on them. This isn't clickbait. This is raw, unfiltered street drama that ties directly to Takeoff's final hours, mob ties loyalty, and why Prince looks more nervous than ever. For the longest time, Mase played it cool, sitting on the sidelines, letting Prince throw little subliminals without snapping back. But the moment those shots came on $1 million worth of game, the gloves came flying off. Both Mase and Cameron had kept quiet on Houston's messy business, but Prince crossed the line too far. According to Mase, he heard that private call himself, Prince talking to Takeoff just hours before the tragedy. But instead of advice or support, Mase claims Prince was pressing him about behind-the-scenes loyalty, and it wasn't warm guidance, it was pressure, dominance, and control. When Takeoff pushed back, the situation went left fast, and that's why the whole culture is shaking now. That supposed call lined up with the exact same night Takeoff was gunned down outside a Houston bowling alley. A dice game gone sideways, arguments, shots flying, and the world losing one of its brightest stars at just 28. The second Mase brought it up, Jay Prince started cracking. He hit social media tossing sharp threats, acting like the victim, and doubling down on shade he'd already thrown at Offset, accusing him of not standing by Takeoff while he was alive. Prince's words were bold. You wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive. You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive.
You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So
that struck like a match in dry grass. Suddenly, it wasn't just Offset clapping back. Cardi B came to stand firm for her man. And with Mase now putting fuel on the fire about that call, Prince's damage control looks weak and late. The streets already made up their minds. Fans online stopped holding back. One tweet cut the deepest. Nobody respects Jay Prince after Takeoff was on his watch. And that was the turning point. People started seriously side-eyeing Prince and mob ties. Patrick Xavier Clark, aka DJ Pat, got picked up quick on charges, but then stunned the world when he walked out of jail on a $1 million bond like nothing. To the public, it looked like someone powerful made sure he wasn't sitting behind bars for long. And then there's the story floating heavy online that Jay Prince walked past Takeoff's body and coldly said, "Call that. Don't ask me none about that." Whether true or not, that detail added gasoline to an already blazing fire, but it didn't stop there. Jay Prince Jr. allegedly pushed to have his name completely removed from DJ Pat's bond paperwork. Now why do that if you've got nothing to hide? That move looked like a desperate attempt to put distance between himself and the tragedy. The problem is, he was right there that night. And don't forget, Cameron Joshua, better known as Lil Cam Fifth, got scooped on weapon charges immediately after Takeoff was killed. Another name linked directly back to mob ties. Too many connections, too many deaths circling their circle, yet they parade around playing innocent. The streets aren't buying that story anymore, not after what happened to Takeoff. The signs were flashing long before Takeoff's murder. Duke the jeweler's death was the blueprint. He flew into Houston, did the so-called check-in with mob ties, sat at the dice table, and ended up in a coffin. Same cycle every time. Dice, argument, silence. And just like clockwork, Jay Prince's name slipped into the whispers. That clip of him telling his shotgun man to fall back, that wasn't random. It looked staged, like the playbook was already written. It's hard not to notice the pattern. Houston invites roll in, mob ties demands respect, dice games kick off, and someone's life gets cut short. And after, Prince puts on his wise man mask, preaching about black-on-black violence and how grief is the price of love. People aren't buying it anymore. The question stays, where were you when the blood hit the concrete? And here's another head-turner. Not a single Prince showed up at Takeoff's funeral. None. That absence spoke volumes. Fans say the reason is obvious. They allegedly had too much guilt tied to the tragedy. Meanwhile, Jay Prince Jr. tweets reckless gems like, "Don't wear jewelry around vultures." But if you knew it was dangerous, why put Quavo and Takeoff in that setup at all? If your protection system can't keep guests alive, then what's it really protecting? Your name or the streets? Word is Quavo and Jay Prince Jr. were caught in a heated exchange just moments before the gunfire started. And now leaked footage has Prince brushing it off like it wasn't his crew's responsibility, like Takeoff wasn't killed under his shadow. That's the kind of arrogance that has fans demanding accountability. That's when Mase stepped out swinging. After Prince fired shots on $1 million worth of game, Mase came back harder than ever, tearing straight into Prince's whole image. He didn't tiptoe or sugarcoat. He hit raw, saying, "We not your little," and calling out decades of manipulation through the check-in culture Prince has run. That wasn't just words on a screen. That was a cultural gut punch that people felt deep. And Cameron, he sat back and let it happen. Usually the man's cautious, careful with his words, but this time he didn't step in, didn't block, didn't soften the blow. He let Mase cook. Fans believe that proves Mase had that leaked call locked away in his pocket, just waiting for the right moment to hit Prince where it hurt. And when Prince crossed the line, Mase landed the shot. Meanwhile, Offset's patience snapped once Prince dragged his name. He clapped back fast, refusing to let anyone question his love for Takeoff. And right on cue, Cardi B jumped in swinging too, fearless, blunt, and sending the loudest message. They don't fear mob ties, and Cardi will never play bluff games. That was the exact moment fans woke up and realized, this ain't about music politics anymore. Jay Prince just got checked publicly by a mainstream power couple, and his image as an untouchable street figure is cracking under the microscope. The shift's been clear if you pay attention. Big names that once screamed mob ties or keeping their distance start with Drake. He used to be all up in their mentions, showing loyalty to Jazz Prince for helping him connect with Wayne and Young Money. But now, nothing. No reposts, no shout-outs, no love. Since Takeoff's murder, Drake's been ghosting Jay Prince Jr. like the association itself is radioactive. Then there's Jay-Z. Streets say Hobb hasn't answered a single mob ties peace call since 2023. And if you know Jay, you know he don't move messy in public. He just quietly cuts ties. Billion-dollar brands are behind him, and the last thing he wants is his empire touched by whispers of federal heat tied to Houston. And now with Mase exposing private conversations, the silence is turning into guilt by association.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little, like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little.
Mob ties power always came from the check-in culture. Rappers and artists landing in Houston, linking with Jay Prince Jr. for so-called safety. But now, that safety looks fake. Duke the jeweler checked in, ended up gone. Takeoff checked in, lost his life. Fans are ruthless on X, tweeting, "This is why nobody checks in anymore. The ones demanding respect can't even protect their own guests." Even artists out west are saying the whole check-in system is a trap. Just a way for local gatekeepers to look like bosses while putting outsiders in risky situations. And when Mase finally said it out loud, that Prince is just a failed street Nas trying to cosplay mob boss. The internet ran with it. That label stuck like glue. But the biggest hole in the story? The witnesses. Over 40 people stood outside 810 Billiards and Bowling the night Takeoff was shot. The crowd was huge, the cameras were rolling, yet barely anyone's testimony has surfaced. Why? Word is witnesses got threatened, footage went missing, and the entire thing got cleaned up to make DJ Pat look like the lone fall guy. And the wildest theory buzzing right now, Quavo was the one actually arguing with J. Prince Jr. moments before the gunfire. Takeoff wasn't even directly involved, which has people asking, did Takeoff catch a stray in a heated warning gone wrong? Or was there something darker planned all along? Now this is where things take a shocking turn. Insiders tied to Mase and Cam are whispering that the call between Prince and Takeoff might not just be a story, it might actually be on tape. Maybe it was recorded by mistake. Maybe someone deliberately hit record, but word is that audio exists. And if it does, Mase and Cam might have been holding it, waiting for the perfect moment to drop the hammer. If that tape leaks, Prince is finished. Because think about it. What was really said on that call? Did Prince threaten Takeoff? Did he pressure him into something he wasn't feeling? This isn't some random dude spreading rumors. This is Mase. The same man who stood up to Diddy walked away from the game and then came back swinging. If the world hears that recording, J. Prince's empire crumbles on the spot. And make no mistake, this is bigger than hip-hop beef. This is the kind of heat that gets federal ears tuned in. The feds don't care about legends. They care about patterns, alleged threats, alleged witness tampering, organized crime structures. Every slick word Prince or his sons drop on podcasts gets cataloged now. And with Mase speaking out, they're leaning in closer than ever. Offset, Cameron, Mase, and millions of fans are now calling him out directly. And if Prince's name ever shows up on paperwork tied to this, no label can shield him, no city can stand in the way, and no check-in system has enough muscle to block the law. But through all the noise, let's pull it back to who this is really about. Takeoff, a peaceful soul, the quiet genius of Migos. He wasn't chasing headlines, wasn't built for beef. He was about family, music, and vibes. The fact his life ended at a dice game in the presence of people who claim to love him is what makes this cut so deep. Prince went online with condolences, writing that grief is the price of love. But let's be real, nobody respects poetic lines when you let blood spill under your supervision. The streets want more than captions and podcasts. They want the truth, the full truth. And Mase, he tore open the floodgates. His clap back wasn't just about defending himself. It was about shattering the aura of fear J. Prince carried for decades. The illusion is cracking, and now the narrative is slipping out of Prince's hands. Between leaked calls, federal eyes watching, artists stepping back and witnesses going quiet, this story is spiraling. Prince snapped, Mase clapped back, and now all eyes are locked in. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, and turn on notifications, because what's coming next is even wilder.